Welcome back, everyone. Jack Reeve, TalkNorwichCity. We've done it. We've got there. We've got there. I feel like I've run a marathon, maybe an ultra marathon. I've just got back from five-a-side after exhibiting one of my finest David Fox-esque performances. To see the news that we have kept Joshua Thomas Sargent. You'll see all these names scrolling past. Vladan Kovacevic, yeah, brilliant. Harry Darling, yeah, signing of the summer. Pelle Matson, it's going to be great. But Joshua Thomas Sargent staying at Norwich City Football Club is an exceptional bit of business for this brilliant club. I think we have to thank the Atanasios, Norfolk Holdings Group. I think we have to thank Liam Manning. I think we have to thank Ben Napper. And we have to thank Josh Sargent, the best player in the Championship. By a long way. It's not even close. It's not even close. Alexander Mitrovic, records. He's coming for you if he can keep fit. Now we just have to worry about him not getting injured in the international break on duty for USA. That would be great, wouldn't it? I'm not even going to talk it up. I'm not even going to speak it into existence. But the transfer window is done pretty much. There's still a few countries where the window is open for a few more days. Turkey being one. So Shane Duffy, Anis Ben Slimane, there's still hope for a move for those guys. But those names flicking to that side of the screen is the work of an incredibly hectic summer. It has been a busy one, a seriously busy one. Jacob Wright being the first. God, that feels like years ago. It honestly feels like we signed Jacob Wright about 6 months ago. It was only made official at the start of the summer transfer window. 12 senior signings. Jacob Wright, Vladan Kovacevic, Jakov Medic, Harry Darling, Dan Grimshaw, Louis Molden, Matthias Kvistgaard, Jeffrey Schlupp, Papa Amadou Diallo. I think I've forgotten one in there. Pelle Matson, Jovan Makama. The outs, well, we've made a considerable amount of money as well. £14.5 million for Borja Sainz, £10 million for Marcelino Nunes, a couple of £1 million for Brad Hills. The loan of Vicente Reyes. You've obviously got the Johnny Rowe uplift. Plus, I think most of his money would have come through this summer. So, yes, we've spent big. Matthias Kvistgaard being the biggest signing there. I'm just looking down there. Some really good business, isn't there? Harry Darling on a free. I mean, come on. That's an absolute steal, isn't it? I mean, what a bit of business that looks to be. Makama, I'm excited about. Chris Gordon, I don't think we've seen a huge amount of so far. Papa Amadou Diallo looks exciting. Vladan Kovacevic, big mad Vlad. Look, I think this is on the whole, even with the Marcelino Nunes news and the chaos that unfolded around that transfer, it feels like Norwich have progressed, and it feels like not only have we improved the quality on the pitch, we have really galvanised the squad. I mean, the latest TNC podcast, Chris and I discussed it. There was a feeling at Blackburn, a real feeling. I didn't know how the squad would react to the Marcelino news. I didn't know how the fans would react to that, but it felt like the 11 players on that pitch and the subs bench as well were united, were together, were feeling a part of something, and that can take you a very long way. When you look to your left and you look to your right and you see players fighting for you, that gives you an extra 10%. That gives you enough to keep pushing. And I think we've seen it in all of our brilliant promotion campaigns. There's a couple of ways to win this league. You either buy your way to it. I think Ipswich Town are trying to do that. Works sometimes. But actually, I think that the best championship squads have got a mix of quality and a real fight and togetherness and willingness to go the extra yards and dig in on those cold November nights away from home. They're the types of squads that do well in the Championship. And I think we've got a nice mix. I don't think it's perfect. I think there's weaknesses in there. But I think he's got a nice mix now. And it's deep. The squad runs deep as well. I mean, you look at right back, you've got two positions, two players that can fill that position. The goalkeeper role, I think you feel probably more confident in our number 2 now. The centre backs, Jose Cordoba was dropped on Saturday. I think he's a more than competent centre back at this level. You've got Ben Grosene, Jeffrey Schlupp, Lucio Mahovo. At left back, you've got a midfield mix now, and yes, Nunez is gone. Pelle Matson, Topic, McLean, Wright, Gibbs, a whole host of attacking options. I mean, you've got a £7 million striker in Matthias Kvistgaard, who teams were prepared to pay $14 million for, and he's not even our main number 9. You've got the best player in the Championship in Josh Sargent. You've got Paparamadou Diallo on the left. You've got Sienats or Jurisic out on the right. You've got £16 million worth of combined talent there. That feels like a decent starting 11. And that feels like a squad that can go and do something special this season. And look, I'm not guaranteeing that will happen. And look, we've not won a home game yet, so it'd be mental for me to come on here and say that we are, a shoo-in for top 6. I don't think we are, but I think this squad is in a better place than it was when Johannes Torp was sacked. There was a lot of work to do this summer. It was a complete rebuild. There were lots of contracts that weren't renewed, and I've not added them on here because that was pre-transfer window, wasn't it? Angus Gunn, Onel Hernandez, Jakob Sorensen. There was a huge rebuild, and it felt like it was a really critical summer. It was a critical summer for Ben Napper, who had got his first managerial decision wrong. We've changed manager, we've changed head coach, we've changed backroom staff. It was, it felt like the Atenasio's first proper transfer window, first one where they could really get stuck in. We've spent big. We've batted teams away. We've gone out there and gone, we want this player. We are going to sign him. Harry Darling, great example. I think we would have been beaten by Sheffield United or Wrexham or Birmingham in previous campaigns. But we've gone out there. We've gone, we want Harry Darling. We'll make it happen. And it's worked the other way as well. We want to keep Joshua Thomas Sargent. We're going to keep him. However that happens, we will keep him. Yes, maybe they've chucked him a bit of extra cash. You know what? Probably wasn't enough. Chuck him even more. Give him all of the Marcelino Nunez money. Have that. He doesn't want to stay, but you do. Have the 10 million quid, Josh. Treat yourself. Retire the family. Yeah? I think it's been a good window. It's been exhausting, but I think we've navigated it well. And I think Ben Napper can have a nice glass of red wine or whatever his tipple is, maybe a Laken's this evening, and sit back and look. The work doesn't stop here, and it's important that we continue to progress and get the best out of these players. We've not seen enough out of Mate Jurisic. We've not seen enough out of Ante Sienats. We need to get more from Kvistgaard and all of the players on that list. We need to see good things from. But I think if we would have said at the start of this window, can we add some real talent and can we keep Josh Sargent? That would have been deemed a successful window, even with the sales of Nunez and Sainz. I think we were expecting to lose 2. We were probably all expecting to lose all 3. If you would have said to me, who of those leave? Borja Sainz was always going. Marcelino was a 50-50 for me. And Josh Sargent, when it felt like an inevitability that he would go. But he's still here. He's still here. Fair play to Josh Sargent. Fair play for Norwich City for making this an attractive enough project to a player that had sustained Premier League interest, sustained Bundesliga interest, sustained Serie A interest, sustained interest from America. They've managed to, and it's mainly down to him. I think he could have, if he wanted to, he could have thrown the toys out of the pram and demanded a move to wherever he wanted to, really. They have managed to keep the best player in the Championship. Who's too good for the Championship? We all know that. I think he could do a job in the Premier League. And I think if you're Leeds United, what have you done? I mean, what have you done? You throw everything at him, right? Daniel Farke's man. Daniel Farke brought him to Norwich City. He pushed this signing through. Anyway, I'm not here to sell him. Well done to everyone that managed to navigate this window. I'm going to try and do a live stream, I think, tomorrow night, and we can chat about it in more detail. But on the whole, a pretty quiet deadline day for Norwich, and I think that's exactly how we wanted it. Kenny McLean remains. I don't think that was ever going to happen in terms of the move to Rangers, and Wrexham were linked. I mean, he's been linked with Rangers every window for the last 7, I think. But yeah, we look forward to January next. Let me know what you think of the transfer window. I'd love to hear your thoughts. For me, it's a solid 8 out of 10, maybe 9 out of 10 if we're pushing it. I think I would have probably liked another left winger, maybe. And that's about it, I think. I think that's about it. So Ben Napper, you can sleep well tonight. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you all again very soon. Bye-bye.